Namaskar. Surprised? Really well. Yes, you're right. COVID-19 has taught us this traditional Indian routine. COVID-19, previously known as novel coronavirus. Here, novel means new, original. It is used here as an adjective, and novel, when we use this term as noun, it means a fictitious story. COVID-19, it's the name of a disease and it is an acronym. What do you mean by acronym? Just study COVID-19. Here, CO stands for corona, V stands for virus, D stands for disease. That means coronavirus disease of 2019. Now we can easily understand what is the acronym. That means COVID-19 is the name of a disease. And what is the name of the virus? I think you know. It is called SARS-CoV-2. That means severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. Coronavirus 2. That means this is not the first time the world has heard the name of this virus. In 1930s, coronaviruses were first discovered in domestic poultry. This virus has already changed our life, the world. Where we are living right now is rapidly changing, and it is not like the way it used to be. So, what should we do in this critical situation? We should accept this situation and adapt ourselves accordingly. Otherwise, one day will have to be an extinct race. At the same time, we should know to stop means death. A simple virus cannot stop the motion of our life. For this, we should enhance our self-confidence. Our self-confidence will help us to be self-reliant. At the same time, in this uncertain world, we should not give our remote control to others' hand. We should try our best to have the remote control of our life in our hand. At the same time, we should be respectful to the eternal laws of life, to the eternal laws of the universe. With the advancement of civilization, with the advancement of science, we are going to forget the eternal laws of life. This COVID-19 has reminded us the eternal values of life, the eternal laws of the universe. That's why we should be respectful to the eternal laws of life. Okay, here's my brief introduction. I am Shahadip Shaham. I'm an assistant teacher here at K.A.High High School. Today's class is sentence, the basics. Today we learn the basic concept of sentence. Before that, we should go through the syllabus of English language. Actually, in Bengal medium school, we learn English as a second language. In English version or English medium school, we learn this language as first language. Okay. And if we go through the marks division, we'll find two parts, literature and language. In class 10 or secondary examination, we should give importance on language, because if we go through the syllabus, we can easily understand the whole syllabus is based on language. We can say that in secondary examination or Madhyamik examination, we have 20% literature and 80% language. That's why we should learn what is language at first. We should learn what is language. Okay. Language is a form of communication using words that are spoken or symbolized with the writing system. Is structured with grammar. That means, in brief, we can say that language is a medium of communication. Most often we use either spoken language or written language. But in interview board, you'll have to learn another language, that is body language. It is also very important in this modern world. Okay. And if we want to learn what is language, at first we should go through linguistics. So what is linguistics? In brief, we can say that linguistics is the scientific study of language, which can be either theoretical and applied. In theoretical linguistics, there are a number of subfields like grammar, semantics, phonology, and phonetics. In our syllabus, we have grammar, but we don't know what is grammar. Actually, grammar is the study of language structure. And what is semantics? The study of meaning. That means semantics is the scientific study of meaning. In our syllabus, we have grammar and vocabulary. Grammar section, that is the study of language structure, will help you to be fluent in English. And semantics will help you to improve your vocabulary. Both are very important to prepare ourselves well from academic examination. At the same time, if we learn this language completely, we should go through phonology and phonetics. What is phonology? It is a scientific study of sound system. And what is phonetics? The study of pitch sound. We should pay emphasis on grammar because today we learn sentence, the basics. In the study of grammar, there is a study of morphology. And what is morphology? In morphology, we learn the formation and alteration of words. Sometimes we need to form a new word and we need to alternate the word, how to use. All these we learn in morphology. And syntax will help us to form a sentence. It will help us how to form a sentence with the help of words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. In brief, we can say that syntax will be syntax. The rules in syntax, we learn the rules that determine the way words combine into phrases and sentences. We have already discussed theoretical linguistics and what is the function of applied linguistics. We'll have to apply all the knowledge of theoretical linguistics in this section. That means applied linguistics is the system putting linguistic theories into practice in varied areas like foreign language teaching, speech therapy, etc. In English language, both are very, very important. We'll have to pay emphasis on grammar. We have already discussed. There is in English grammatical units in English grammar. What do we have? The grammatical units of English are words, phrase, clause, and sentence. Word classes. In our childhood, we learn parts of speech, but here we find the term word classes. Parts of speech also called word classes. The main word classes are the noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, and conjunction. Phrases. We know there are 5 kinds of phrases: noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and prepositional phrase. And the clauses, they are mainly 2 kinds of clauses: independent clause and dependent clause. And sentence elements. The sentence elements are subject, verb, object, and subject, verb, object, complement, and adverb. But general, there is a basic concept is that, oh no, if we want to form a sentence, we need only subject, verb, object. Okay, but here we find if we want to form a sentence, we must have certain knowledge of all these sentence elements. Otherwise, it's impossible for us to form a sentence. Okay. Now we'll have to study sentence. Before going through, we should have a look at this sentence. So just have a look. The first sentence, I am a student. The second, there is a conversation between student and teacher. Student, may I come in, sir? Teacher, yes, just study. The third sentence, student am K.A.High. And the fourth one, the dead man is walking on the road. Just have a look and try to understand what do we get after studying these four sentences. We have got single word, multiple words, proper order of words, their meaning, and contextual meaning. Just go through the previous one. I'm a student. It's a complete sentence. May I come in, sir? Yes, complete sentence. Student am I a. Do you call it a sentence? No, never. Because it does not express the sense clearly. The dead man is walking on the road. Apparently, it seems to be there is no grammatical mistakes. Do you call it a sentence? The dead man is walking on the road. But is it possible? No. Contextually, it is not possible. That's why we should not call this a sentence. Now, we can say that sentence is a word or a group of words that makes a complete sense in a given context. After studying all these examples, we can easily see that sentence is a word or a group of words that makes a complete sense in a given context. We have already discussed linguistics. Linguistically, we can say that a sentence is an ideal string of words formed in accordance with the grammatical rules of a language. So simple. We may compare a sentence with a garland. In a garland, every flower is important, but we should know how to string a garland. Okay, we should have a look of part of a sentence. Just study the sentences. Ram is a good boy. He goes to school every day. Each of the other sentences may be divided into two parts. That means we can say what is subject. Subject of a sentence is the part about which something is said. Here, in the first sentence, Ram is a good boy. Here, Ram is subject. And what is predicate? We know the predicate of a sentence is the part which says something about the subject. As for example, he goes to school every day. Here, he goes to school every day is the predicate. In the first sentence, is a good boy is a predicate. That means we have already learned that a sentence must have two parts, subject and predicate. But sometimes the subject remains understood. And there is a rule when we form sentence, we should place subject at the very beginning. After that, we should place the predicate. But there are a lot of exceptional cases. Actually, the placement of subject depends on the particular context, particular situation. It may come at the very beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the sentence. Okay, later we'll discuss a lot about it. The subject part of the sentence consists of, now we think that no, subject means the noun or noun equivalent. Okay, here we find the subject part of the sentence consists of the noun, pronoun, gerund, infinitive, phrase, and even noun clauses. Okay. Ram is a good boy. Here, Ram is a noun. He goes to school every day. Here, he is a noun. Swimming is a good exercise. Here, swimming is a gerund. To steal is a crime. Here, to steal is an infinitive. Reading novels is my hobby. Here, reading novels is a phrase. It is used here as a subject of a sentence. What he said is true. Here, what he said is a noun clause. Here, it is used as the subject of a sentence. Besides this, we must have sufficient knowledge of the formal subject. What do you mean by formal subject? Study the sentences. It is obvious that you are ill. There is a pond in our school. Here, it is formal subject. There is formal subject. Generally, we call it introductory it or introductory them. Him, it also called anticipatory it or anticipatory subject because we anticipate that you were ill. That's why it is called anticipatory subject or anticipatory it. There is a pond in our school. Here there is formal subject and a pond is proper subject. We don't say our school has a pond. Not in such a way. There is a pond in our school. Sometimes the proper subject cannot express the sense clearly. Then we should use formal subject. The predicate part of the sentence consists of verb, object, complement, and adverbial. Verb, we know it's a very common term, but verbal, what is verbal? Actually, verbal is a word or a group of words that plays the role of a verb. As for example, someone is dogging you. Here, dog is noun form, but it is used here as a verb. That's why it is called verbal. Do you know the meaning? Someone is dogging you. Someone is dogging you means someone is spying you. Okay. And what is subject? In our childhood, we learned that, oh no, object means we'll have to make question with what and whom, and the answer will be the object. No, this is not the proper way to find out the object. Okay. What is object? Object is a word or a group of words which is influenced or governed by the action of the verb or preposition. Okay, here plus cricket. Yeah, cricket is influenced by the action of the verb play. That's why it is called object. The book is on the table. Yeah, the table is governed by the action of the preposition on. That's why it is called object. We must have sufficient knowledge of subject, verb, object, and complement. All these are sentence elements we have already discussed. What is complement? Though we know, but some of you don't know the term complement. What is complement? Yeah, just study. Actually, English grammar is very simple. You should analyze the term. What is complement? Complement is a word or a group of words which completes the predicate of a verb. The term complement has been derived from complete. That's why it is called complement. Complement is a word or a group of words which completes the predicate of a verb. Complement are of two kinds, subject complement and object complement. Subject complement completes the subject and object complement completes the object. Just study the following sentences. She is intelligent. Here, intelligent is subject complement. We made him captain. Here we find the subject, verb, object. Captain helps the predicate to complete the sentence. That's why it is called complement. Here, captain is complement, object complement, as it completes the object. Adverbial. What is adverbial? Adverbial is a word or a phrase or a clause that plays the role of an adverb. Just like verbal. Adverb plays the role of adverbial. There is no problem, but sometimes a phrase, sometimes a clause plays the role of adverb. Sometimes a word also plays the role of adverb, plays the role of an adverb. That's why it is called adverbial. As for example, we play in the afternoon. Here, in the afternoon is a phrase, but it is used here as an adverb. That's why it is called adverb. Now, we should learn sentence and its division. If I ask you, how many sentences are there? Your answers will be different. Someone will say, oh, sentences are of two kinds. Sentences are of two kinds. Some of you say sentences are of 5 kinds, 6 kinds, etc., etc. Okay, but before going through the division, we should know. Generally, we should learn how many kinds. But today, we will learn how many ways should we divide a sentence. How many ways? At first, how many ways? After that, how many kinds? Okay, the first one, sentence. On the basis of basic principles, sentences are of two kinds. Major sentence and minor sentence. So what is major sentence? A sentence, it's a very common, I think it is not, it's a very uncommon to, yeah, major sentence and minor sentence. So you find that a major in military, but yeah, sentence, what is a major sentence? Yeah, major sentence, that means a sentence that follows the basic principles of a sentence is called major sentence. And minor sentence, a sentence that does not follow the basic principles is called minor sentence. As for example, we have already discussed, may I come in, sir? It's called major sentence. It follows all the rules and regulations. That is called the basic principles. And the answer is yes, it's a minor sentence. There is only one word. That's why it is minor sentence. Next one, sentence. On the basis of words, as sentence is related to words. On the basis of words, sentences are of how many kinds? On the basis of words, sentences are of two kinds. Single-worded sentence and multi-worded sentence. Just study the examples. Do you want to learn English? Yes. Here, do you want to learn English? Multi-worded sentence and yes, single-worded sentence. That means we can easily say that single-worded sentence means that is a sentence that contains only one word is called single-word sentence. And multi-worded sentence, a sentence that contains more than one word is called multi-worded. It's very simple. Multi-worded sentences that's divided into two kinds, with verbs and without verbs. In our childhood, we learned that sentence means there must be a verb. Without verb, it's impossible for us to form a sentence. But here we find with verbs or without verbs. Just study the examples. We are going to an excursion. Will you join us? Why not? Yeah, that means we can express the sense with the help of why not. Do you find any verb here? No. That means we can express ourselves completely without using any verb. Another example, have you taken any sips? No, not at all. We can express ourselves. Multi-worded sentence and without any verb. Okay, but we should remind in this section, we should remind that single-worded sentences and multi-worded sentences without verbs always in spoken English. Okay. Now you can easily understand single-worded sentences and multi-worded sentences without verb fall in the category of minor sentence. I think you have understood. Sentence on the basis of nature or action. It's very important. Yeah, on the basis of nature or action. Assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamative. But in many books, we find on the basis of nature or action, sentences are of 5 kinds: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamative. According to modern grammarian, imperative sentence covers the idea and usage of and covers the function of optative sentence. They think that right now we need not optative sentence. That's why we follow the opinion of the modern grammarian. Yeah, they are right. We can express the optative sense through imperative sentences. Okay? And the next one, sentences on the basis of sense. All these 4 kinds sentences are subdivided into 2 kinds: affirmative and negative. Next, sentence and its division on the basis of structure. It's very important. On the basis of structure, sentences are of how many kinds? 3 kinds: simple, complex, and compound. Next, it's very uncommon to you, but very interesting. Yeah. On the basis of the way the thought is developed, sentences are of 3 kinds: loose sentence, periodic sentence, and balanced sentence. Wow. It's very interesting. Okay, loose sentence. What type of sentence? Loose sentence. Okay, just have a look. What is loose sentence? Okay, in this sentence structure, we find that the main idea comes first. Just follow the examples. Ram was quite well when I saw him. The main idea means Ram was quite well. That's why main idea comes first. Okay, and loosely strung together by and or then. Generally, loose sentences we find and then. It's just like kid's story. Okay, and then the king and the queen entered and blah blah blah, etc. Okay, it's very interesting. Loose sentence. And a periodic sentence, sometimes it is called a pair. Okay, here the main idea comes at the end, and the meaning of the sentence does not complete until the sentence is finished. Yeah, this is also very interesting. The main thought comes at the end, and the meaning of the sentence does not complete until the sentence is finished. It's very interesting. We study the same example. We follow the same example. When I saw Ram, he was quite well. Here, the main idiom He was quite well. We have already learned, and it comes at the end. Okay, that's why it is called periodic sentence, and a period is called, that is, it's a complete sentence. And balanced sentence, yeah. In balanced sentence, there are two parts, and both parts are of equal importance. Okay, just study the example. You can easily understand what is balanced sentence. The more you read, the more you learn. The more, the medium. We have already learned all these sentences. Okay. It's a very interesting, balanced sentence. The more you read, the more you learn. Just find out the two parts really are of equal importance. We have already gone through the basics of sentence, but really they are very, very interesting. All these sentences are very important to us in our syllabus. Okay, in the grammar and writing section, all these are very, very important. Okay, major sentence, minor sentences. I have already told you. Single worded sentences and multi-worded sentences are always used in spoken English. And all these sentence pattern will help you in narration plus. Yeah, it will help you in narration, that is direct narration, indirect narration, that is deported speech. Okay, from direct to indirect, all these patterns will help you. Yeah. At the same time, in grammar, sometimes we find the usage of balanced sentence and writing skill, story writing, loose sentence pattern will help you. That's why all are correlated. Yeah. Now we'll learn how to form sentence. This is very important. Okay, most of the Madhyamik candidates, yeah, they have the common concept that now that is writings. I'll have to go through it and memorize and we'll have to write. No. Okay, just study the sentence pattern, and all these sentence pattern will help. Yeah. Actually, we have already discussed all the sentences, that is different kinds of sentences, and the most important sentence among the sentences is assertive sentence. Okay, because in English language, 80% of writings of English languages, in English languages, 80% writings are written in assertive sentence. They follow the assertive sentence pattern. Okay, that's why assertive sentence is very, very important. Okay, just we have a look. If we want to form, and if we want to learn how to form assertive sentence, we must have certain knowledge of all the sentence elements. Just have a look of sentence elements. That is subject, verb, object, direct object, indirect object, complement, and adverbial. And at the same time, formal subject will also help you to form assertive sentence. Okay. Just have a look how to form assertive sentence. There are 10 basic patterns. Okay, though there are 49 assertive sentence patterns, but for class 10, if we follow these the 10 patterns, I think it will help you to write English without any mistake. Okay, just have a look. Subject plus verb. S for subject, V for verb or verb. She is laughing. But in our channel, we learn that if we want to form assertive sentence, we need subject, verb, object. Here we learn that without object, we can form a sentence. Only subject and verb. She is laughing. Pattern 2. Subject, verb, and object. It's very simple. Most often use this term. He plays football. A subject plus verb, football object. Pattern 3. Subject plus verb plus complement. Very interesting. Without object, we can form a sentence. Here, complement will help you. She looks charming. Here, she subject, looks verb and charming complement. Number 4, pattern. Subject plus verb plus indirect object plus direct object. Okay, sometimes we use two objects, direct object and indirect object. In this case, we should use indirect object at first and direct object at the end. Okay, at first indirect object and then direct object. Just study the example. He gave me a pen. Yeah, me, indirect object, and a pen, direct object. Okay. Number 5, pattern number 5, subject plus verb plus object plus complement. This is also very interesting. In our childhood, we learned that subject, verb, and object will help you to complete the sentence clearly. Here, in this sentence, we have subject, we have verb, we have object, but it cannot express the sense clearly. To express the sense clearly, we need the help of captain. Captain helps the object, him, to complete the sense clearly. We have already learned in complement, object complement. Yeah, here captain is object complement. This is also very interesting. Pattern 6, subject plus verb plus adverbial. This is also very interesting. We can form a sentence with the help of subject, verb, and adverbial. Okay. Just study the example. We play in the afternoon. We play in the afternoon. Here in the afternoon is an adverbial phrase. Okay, with the help of this phrase, we can form a sentence. We play in the afternoon. Pattern number 7. Subject plus verb plus object plus adverbial. It's very interesting. We play football in the afternoon. Here, we find subject, verb, object, and adverbial plays the role of complement also. Okay. Next, number 8. Here, in pattern number 1 to pattern number 7, we use subject as noun or noun equivalent. Yeah, that is which is called proper subject. Okay. Pattern number 8, we find the use of formal subject. Okay, what's the pattern? There plus verb plus CS. CS means proper subject and adverbial. A very interesting pattern. There is a pond in our school. We have already learned this example. There is a pond in our school. Here, there is, we know it's called formal subject and is verb and a pond proper subject, and in our school adverbial. Generally, in such patterns, we need the help of adverbial sometimes. Pattern 9, very interesting. It plus verb plus adjective plus complement. Very interesting pattern. Sometimes we use such type of example. It is difficult to do. Yeah, it formal subject we have already discussed, and is verb, difficult adjective, and to do complement. To do here we know it is an infinitive, and we use this infinitive as a complement. We use this infinitive as a complement here. Okay. Next, pattern 10. Yeah, this is also very interesting. We have found here all the sentence elements in a single sentence. Okay. Luckily, India won the match that day. Luckily, here adverbial India subject, when verbal verb, the match object, and that they come. In such way, if we have all the if we have the basic sense and if we follow the basic uh, these 10 patterns, I think we can easily form assertive sentence without any hesitation. Though there are lots of exceptional cases, don't worry about that. Just go through all these sentence patterns and write sweet and simple English. I think uh, in the near future, you will be fluent in English, either written or spoken. There will be no problem. Okay, and there are many things to learn. And in the next class, we'll discuss a lot about the rest of the sentence patterns. Okay, and this is the time to bid goodbye. But COVID-19 has told us to say namaskar, namaskar, everybody.